The Beaufort-based U.S. federal courthouse is closing due to budget cuts. We'll tell you why the Woods Memorial Bridge was closed, and we'll get you some highlights from the Lieutenant Dan weekend. All that and much more. Keep watching Beaufort. Your news starts now. Thanks for joining us for the Beaufort News. I'm Jessa Cherimie, and here are your local headlines. The Beaufort U.S. Federal Courthouse is closing due to a cut in funding from Congress, with the federal judiciary facing a $500 million budget cut. They're closing the courthouse in Beaufort and 5 other southern cities over the next few years. None of these courthouses had judges who were based there, so judges had to travel from bigger cities to hear the cases. There are now 674 federal courthouses in the nation. The Lieutenant Dan Independence 5K run and ride brought hundreds of runners and cyclists to the Beaufort Marine Corps Air Station over the weekend. The race not only benefited wounded veterans, but also is designed to break down the barriers between the able-bodied and disabled communities. According to the Independence Fund, cycling is the best vehicle for bringing these two groups together. The experience was said by many participants to be life-changing. And during a public information session, many curious Beaufort citizens got their questions answered about the status of the Boundary Street redevelopment project. During the session, area residents discussed concerns with city representatives that shed light on improvements, which include the addition of a median, realignment of Highway 170, and the addition of a 10-foot multi-use path. The project's conception was in 2006, and thanks to the penny transportation tax and a federal grant, the project will be up for final approvals by the end of this year. If you have any questions related to this project, please contact Greg Lewis, Office of Civic Investment at 843-593-0203, or you can follow the link you see listed on your screen. You may have noticed that the Woods Memorial Bridge was closed Monday, September 17th through Wednesday, September 19th. The closure was due to repairs by the South Carolina Department of Transportation. The repairs called for barricades, message boards, and flashing arrows to alert drivers of construction. The Woods Memorial Bridge connects downtown Beaufort to Ladies Island and is one of only 9 operating movable bridges in South Carolina. 3 Beaufort County Republican Party offices were officially opened Saturday afternoon, including one right here in Beaufort. South Carolina 1st Congressional District Representative Tim Scott was in the Low Country Saturday to help celebrate the opening. According to Scott, his main goals will be to work on the current economy, but there is a lot more work to be done. And the City Council approves $350,000 for land on Hilton Head Island in an effort to protect and preserve the area. The purchase was made possible by a bond referendum that was made in 2000 as well as 2006, and that funds the Rural and Critical Lands Program. The purchase of the land was decided in a unanimous vote and is a joint effort between the town of Hilton Head and the Beaufort City Council. And the general public is invited to a Beaufort County Board of Education meeting, which is set to discuss growth at St. Helena Elementary School. According to School Board Chairman Fred Washington Jr., the September 25th meeting is an opportunity for the full board to listen to legitimate concerns regarding student achievement and the recent rating of the school. For further information, please contact Community Services at 843-322-2306. The meeting is scheduled to take place in the school cafeteria at 6:30 p.m. And Fordham Market is hosting Meet the Artisans Sunday, September 23rd from noon to 7 p.m. The event will include refreshments and a door prize of a $100 gift certificate. The artisan meeting will take place at 701 Bay Street in downtown Beaufort. And in state headlines, builders are returning to the Midland's annual tour of homes this month, which according to participants means the state housing market is improving. According to the trade group, 21 builders have entered 47 homes in this year's Home Builders Association of Greater Columbia tour, up 16 builders from last year. The tour of homes that opened last weekend and continues weekends through the end of the month includes homes in Richland, Lexington, and Kershaw counties. The average price range for homes in this year's show is between $250,000 and $400,000, also up significantly since last year. USC is bringing in about $17 million in additional revenue this year thanks to higher enrollment and rising tuition rates. The University of South Carolina is experiencing record high enrollment this year as it went up by 3,500 students from just 4 years ago. The higher enrollment, coupled with a 3.15% tuition raise, means the university is generating enough extra money to cover the state-mandated pay raises. Due to state cuts, USC is now receiving less government funding. And Columbia College is among 5 universities and colleges nationwide who were chosen to receive a Civic Engagement Award. Honorees were chosen for the award based upon leadership, innovation, and support of community programs and projects. Columbia College will be presented the award in Washington, D.C. on October 1st during the Washington Center's annual awards luncheon. Other colleges receiving the award are California State University, Roosevelt University, Tulane University, and the University of San Francisco. If you'd like additional information on these headlines, you can reference the media sources you see listed on your screen. Also, you can like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Just ahead, we'll give you an update on the rail trail when we check in with the Island News' Buck Boone, and we'll go on location for your business report. Stick around.
Low Country Real Estate is located in historic downtown Beaufort, home to one of the most attractive real estate markets in America. We've been providing high-quality service to our community for the past 24 years. Whether you're interested in buying or selling residential, resort, or commercial investment property, our professional sales staff can help you with your real estate needs. Please visit lowcountryrealestate.com for details on all available properties in Beaufort, and come see how the Low Country becomes you.
Welcome back to the Beaufort News. We're joined first by Buck Boone, who has our local press report. How are you today?
I'm great, Jess. I hope you are.
Great. Well, I hear there's groundbreaking for the Spanish Moss Trail. What is the significance of workers starting to build the rail trail? Let's talk about that quick.
Well, the Spanish Moss Trail vision has been years in the making, and the groundbreaking celebrated the cooperation between many public and private groups that work together to see this project come to fruition for the benefit of the entire community.
And do we know when the first part of the trail will be complete?
Well, the first phase of the trail in the depot area is expected to be completed by this Thanksgiving.
Okay, great. Let's talk about some school news. I know there's some noteworthy events that are taking place with both teachers and schools. Can we talk about that?
Certainly, and of course, with the school year in full swing, there are great programs and events that are taking place in all the classrooms. But this week, Riverview Charter School celebrated Constitution Week with a visit from Ben Franklin, while Beaufort Elementary began a top dog reading competition with dogs from the Tail Wagging Tutors program. And best of all, this week, the school district will announce the winner of the Teacher of the Year award, which is always a big event.
Great, some very exciting news. Now let's talk for a second about Larry Shepard, who is a hometown tennis great. Tell me what he does to give back to the community. I know he's very involved here.
Well, Larry Shepard is a native Beaufortonian who grew up in the Northwest Quadrant, then became a professional tennis player. He moved away, started a family, but then he returned to Beaufort and began playing at the city courts on Bladen Street. Today, in addition to running the Shepard Tennis Academy and working as a tennis coach at Beaufort Academy, Larry also earned the top national title for singles in men age 45. He gives back to the community every week by teaching students out on the court and teaching them not only tennis lessons, but also life lessons as well. These are just some of the stories that you'll be able to read in this week's Island News, so please pick up a copy at a location near you.
All right, well, that's a wonderful story. Thanks for sharing that, Buck, and we appreciate your report today.
Have a great day, Jessa.
Now let's go to business news. This week we're on location for our business report at the ribbon cutting of Tradewinds Plantation. Check it out.
Hello, today I'm with Cherimie Crane Weatherford, a broker with Ballenger Real Estates, and we're here for the grand opening of Tradewinds, a brand new residential community on Ladies Island. Cherimie, why don't you tell us a little bit about your vision for Tradewinds?
We are so excited to be building a new community, especially right now with the improvements to the housing market. What we would like to do is we would like to see this area really offer new home buyers a housing options for the 179 to 190 price range.
That's great. Well, tell us a little bit about the development. How many houses do you have planned, and what's going on with the community?
Well, right now we have 3 floor plans. We do have a total of 79 lots, and as the community grows, we'll probably review the type of floor plans that we have and decide how to best fit the needs as it goes on.
Great. What can buyers expect in their new homes here?
You know what, in keeping with the recent trends in new construction, it's really important to have things like wood floors, granite countertops, the hardy plank exterior, nice porches. Those are all things that people have grown accustomed to now in new construction.
Absolutely. I checked one out earlier. They've got some gorgeous European cabinets in this one.
Yes.
Tell us about the builder.
Scott Dennis of NBM Builders is our builder here at Tradewinds, and we've worked with Scott in the past on several different projects, and he does a phenomenal job, is really well known for his reputation and his follow-through. So we're really excited to have him on board.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I have to ask you another tough question. With the recent housing and economic crisis going on, what made you decide to start a brand new development?
Well, anything worth it is a little bit difficult, and we're used to that in real estate, for goodness sakes. And we have thought that now, because of a little bit of a light shine on the housing market, it is the best time to start something new like this and really take the benefits of when it does start to turn completely.
Well, we are thrilled to be here today. We're going to be doing a great ribbon cutting. Come on out and see this gorgeous residential community. Call Cherimie for all your real estate needs.
Thanks, Blakely.
Great pleasure.
Thanks, Cherimie and Blakely. We love to be a part of those grand openings, so thanks for your report. When we return, Mike McFee joins us to talk about running for re-election, and we have the athletic director for Beaufort High, Mr. Jerry Linn, here to talk to us about Beaufort High School. Stick around.
Hi, my name is Matt McElhaney, owner of City Loft Hotel, an upscale boutique hotel in downtown Beaufort. We are proud to be consistently ranked as the #1 hotel in Beaufort based on TripAdvisor's guest ratings and comments. At City Loft, we value our neighbors in the Lowcountry. Whether you're taking friends by boat or need a romantic getaway in Beaufort, let us at City Loft extend hospitality while introducing what's new in urban hotel design. At City Loft Hotel, we are committed to customer service. When you stay here, you're always a local.
Joining us now is Mr. Mike McFee, the city councilman who is running for re-election. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you.
So first I want to talk to you about your first term in office. Talk to us about your successes.
Generally, we've been very pleased. Over the last 4 years, we've done a lot fiscally responsible for the city, managed through pretty austere times to bring a service delivery level higher than I think we've ever had it in the city. So we're very pleased with the general response that we've had both from our staff and from our citizens.
Wonderful. Now, I would like to hear your thoughts on the transparency and inclusion for the citizens of Beaufort. Do you feel that this is sufficient, or are there areas for improvement in your opinion?
You know, I think there's always areas for improvement, but we do have 3 work sessions on a monthly basis and 2 council meetings each month, all of which are open to the public, in addition to a number of subcommittee meetings with our Redevelopment Commission, our Historic Review Board. All of those open to the public, available for people to attend. So it really is available for people to come and be a part of it. So I think the transparency is extremely good. I do always think that there are areas where, especially with the projects of Boundary Street and our new Beaufort Code, the form-based code, I think there's always an opportunity to improve that.
And I also understand that you're a supporter of the acquisition of the Commerce Park by the City of Beaufort. Why is it that you support that, and how can this benefit citizens of Beaufort?
You know, it was a great opportunity, you know, with the economic network losing the property and so forth, and we had the opportunity to get it at a very below market price. And it's just one of the toolboxes, you know, the availabilities in our toolbox that give us the capabilities of really having more job attraction for not just small businesses, but larger businesses as well. Those 50 employees and above, which we really think are a key resource that we haven't tapped that strongly in Beaufort. So we think that's a great opportunity for us, and at any opportunity to grow economic development, we feel like it's a plus. So we definitely want to do everything we can in that realm.
All right, Mike. Well, thanks so much for your input, and also good luck to you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Now we have Mr. Jerry Linn, the athletic director at Beaufort High School. Welcome, Jerry.
Thank you very much.
So, Jerry, I want to talk to you about the education process. I know Beaufort County School District has an overall GPA requirement of 2.0. As the athletic director, how do you think this affects the athletes?
Well, I think it's a good thing for the district to go to a 2.0. Initially, I was kind of skeptical because the state only requires a 1.0. But for the first group, the group that's in this season, they're sort of like the ones that are going to catch the blunt of the whole thing. They have to maintain a 2.0 the semester before they participate. So football players that want to run track this year, they're going to have to maintain a 2.0 this semester in order to become eligible to run track. So we're going to struggle through it, I think, for the first year. But I think once the community grasp the need for the academics side of the total education process, I think we'll do well. Last year we ran a test on our football team at the end of the season, and we only had about 3 kids that would not have been able to participate if we instituted the current rule, which is 2.0.
Okay, well that's good to know. What about the parents? Have you gotten any feedback from parents on the policy?
Most of the parents that have expressed their opinions to me are positive about it. They think it's a good thing. They say things like, it's about time we stress academics, although we stress academics all the time. The coaches have study halls, they have tutoring set up. I have a tutor coach who's on the ball. He'll get all these kids in there, and the ones that are struggling, and try to get them to solve their problems before they get to the point where they drop below a 2.0.
Well, that's nice to hear. So both the parents and coaches really doing their part to keep these kids getting that 2.0 requirement, right?
Yes, ma'am. I think it's sometimes it can be a struggle for some of the kids and coaches because there's a lot that the coach has to do. So I think they're going to grasp it, and it's going to be a success.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing how that goes over. Jerry Linn, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Just around the corner, we'll deliver some exciting information from your Port Royal report, and we'll tell you what local events you can't miss when we return.
Is it time to purchase for the one-of-a-kind person in your life? Over 60 years of service distinguishes Modern Jewelers as one of South Carolina's preeminent jewelry stores.
We're proud to have been voted Beaufort's #1 jewelry store 10 years in a row. Come visit us at 807 Bay Street.
Welcome back to the Beaufort News. Councilman Joe Lee is back here with us to give us our Port Royal report. How are you?
I'm great.
So let's talk about new at the Rookery. The inhabitants of the Rookery are changing. Talk to us about this.
Yes, Jessa, the birds that have been in the Rookery all summer now, of course, have had their offspring. The offspring are now pretty much grown juveniles. And so during the day, you don't see very many birds there because they're all feeding in the marsh. But also, some of the birds are leaving for the winter. They're going to follow the food source south toward Florida. So through the winter, there'll be fewer birds, but in the evening, there's still plenty to see, and we have plenty of other wildlife and flora to take a look at. So please come, bring your camera, and walk around the wetlands.
Absolutely, we'll have to check it out. Now, skateboarders will be interested in this story. The skateboard park is still closed. Do you have any idea how much longer this will be going on?
Jessa, we think it's going to be another 10 days. The painting's coming along fine. It looks great. We want to get it completely done before we open it up back to the borders. But we will. I'll give you an update on the next Port Royal report. We'll have a more definite date at that.
Okay, great. We'll appreciate that. Now, believe it or not, the last concert of the season is already upon us. It's Saturday the 22nd. Who can we expect to see?
We have the Kruger Brothers, which is called a classical bluegrass band. And it looks like the weather's going to cooperate with us on the 22nd. Come out on the street. It's free. It goes on at 6 o'clock the 22nd. Bring your friends, your food, and your cooler, and come visit us. And by the way, we're graduating 504 Marines this weekend, so we hope some of those families will stay around and and come visit Port Royal and go to the concert Saturday night.
Absolutely. Well, we'll look forward to that, and thank you so much for your report, Joe.
Thank you, Jessa.
Jeff Evans joins us now to talk about Beaufort's latest entertainment news. Welcome, Jeff.
Hi, Jessa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Very well.
So I know local gardeners are going to like this first story. The Lunch and Learn series has been extended. Talk to us about the upcoming topics.
Well, the Lunch and Learn series with the Lowcountry Master Gardeners Association was extended through October. And they happen Saturdays at 11:30 at the Port Royal Farmers Market at the Gazebo. The topic coming up on September 22nd will be Planning for Success with Pat Luzon. September 29th will be Keeping It Growing, featuring a panel of experts including Lowcountry Weekly's gardening columnists Clemson Extension Agent Laura Lee Rose and Master Gardener Alice Massey. And October 6th, the topic will be Winterizing Your Garden, and participants are encouraged to bring a folding chair.
Wonderful. And I know there's a new book out called Going Down the River. Now this book has got a lot of local attention. Tell us why.
Well, Janet Garrity has published this gorgeous book about fish camps of the Sea Islands. It's 128 pages, stories, history, about 200 photographs, and it captures the essence of this long tradition of lowcountry fish camps.
Great. And the Water Park book sale is going on. What is the sale going to include, and what kind of variety can people expect to find?
Well, everybody's favorite book sale is coming up in Waterfront Park under the pavilion, and of course it's being sponsored by Friends of Beaufort County Library, and it will be held the weekend of September 28th to 30th. So it's time to pick up your winter reads and visit friends that you've missed over the summer. And there will be hardcovers, paperbacks, DVDs, audio tapes, children's books for every age and interest group, and they're all gently used and very well priced. And all the proceeds go to support unfunded programs for projects and materials for the Beaufort, St. Helena, and Lobico libraries. And for more information about the book sale, you can call 812-3574.
All right, thanks so much, Jeff. Some educational entertainment news this week. Next, let's recap the events that took place during the 3rd annual Lieutenant Dan weekend. The weekend was hosted by the Independence Fund to benefit severely injured veterans here in Beaufort. Happenings included a photography exhibit called Conflict Zone, a family 5K through historic downtown, and a fully supported bike ride for veterans. Also included was a concert featuring Gary Sinise and the Lieutenant Dan Band, and of course, WHHI was there to capture the most memorable moments from this important event. Take a look.
It's a hopeful and resilient story, actually. If you look at the short, small little story of Lieutenant Dan, it's somebody who, he wants to serve. He's called to service. His service is in his family. There's two choices for him. Either he's going to die on the battlefield, or he's going to, have a great military career, and that gets taken away from him. But at the end of the day, he's somebody who can put that pain and the hardship and the tragedy and the trauma of what happened to him behind him and move forward. And I think that's a hopeful story for a lot of our warriors who come back and face similar injuries to what Lieutenant Dan had. And I've met a lot of incredible people that inspire me, and they're like Lieutenant Dan. They're guys who can put that experience behind and move on. And a lot of people ask me, well, do you ever get sick of Lieutenant Dan and all of that? But Lieutenant Dan has become just bigger than the movie, in a way, because it means something to so many of our disabled veterans, and then I could actually use the story of that character to help people. That little character that was born right here in Beaufort, South Carolina, means something to people, and it's a good feeling to know that you can, play a part in a movie and have it make a difference.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm Jessa Jeremiah, and we'll see you next time for your Beaufort News.
I'm Gary Sinise, and when I'm here, I always try to watch WHHI.